Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Of course, my home, my paradise. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on to another very special report. The Branson Center for Entrepreneurship, Caribbean region, is hosting an Accelerator Program here in the British Virgin Islands, which of course begins on March 23rd, 2022. I am joined by Ms. Laurie Ann Answorth, CEO, and Claire Bailey, the head of programs, who are going to break down the program for us. A remarkable opportunity, of course, hosted by the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship that is going to allow Virgin Islanders to have a step ahead as it pertains to entrepreneurship. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 Media.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way that day.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Hello viewers, welcome back, and again, thank you for your time, Ms. Answorth and Ms. Bailey. Welcome to 284 Media, and of course, by extension, welcome to Tortola.
Thank you. Thanks
Absolutely.
for having us, Ron. We really are excited to be here.
Absolute pleasure. I want to begin by asking you ladies, either of you to begin by breaking down and giving a bit of history on the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship. I know there have been some transitions over the years, but explain to us how the program came about, its vision and mission.
Sure, thanks for asking. So the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship Caribbean was actually started in Montego Bay, Jamaica, 10 years ago by Sir Richard Branson. And the vision was to create dynamic Caribbean entrepreneurs, to inject more into the Caribbean economies through entrepreneurship. So at that time, 10 years ago, we were in Montego Bay, and we started with startup entrepreneurs who had an idea, who had a vision for a business that they wanted to create, or they were just in revenue and they wanted to build it and grow it into something bigger. In 2017, as more players started to come into the market, more business enablers, more accelerators and incubators, we realized that we would have been much better placed and positioned to help entrepreneurs in the growth stage, right? So we pivoted our own program, and we started doing acceleration, which meant that we were supporting growth stage entrepreneurs to take what they had built. They had a proven track record of being able to bring in revenue. They had a small team, and they were moving into a different era, different mental space, a different business space, to continue building their business acumen. And so we started doing an acceleration program. Understood. Of course, COVID came about, right? And like everyone else around the world, our entrepreneurs were not accelerating. So we actually introduced a recovery and resilience program to support our entrepreneurs in how could they become resilient during this very uncertain time and maintain their business. So we went to that program. Just like entrepreneurs, we had to pivot.
Of course,
right? Yes. And now that we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, we are reintroducing our acceleration program, and we are doing it through a lot of consulting. So whereas we were supporting entrepreneurs in the Caribbean through one acceleration program, we are now expanding our reach to not only help entrepreneurs, but also to help other business enablers, incubators, accelerators, and companies that have their own entrepreneurs, and that they can get the training, which
Understood.
Claire will be delivering on.
Wonderful. Well, I must ask you, I know, Ms. Answorth, you're the CEO, and Claire, you are the head of programming, but outline for me, what are the average roles and responsibilities as we navigate through, and I love the fact that you said you had to pivot your own program, because oftentimes we get into a bit of a routine with the challenging times, of course, with hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017, now to a pandemic. Even your center has had to readjust. So I want to talk about your roles in navigating these changes.
Sure. So my role as CEO is to ensure that we are continuing with the mission of the Branson Center, and part of my role is to also rely on the experts that I have on the team, such as Claire, who has the knowledge, the know-how to support entrepreneurs. So I'll hand it over to Claire to speak about the program.
Oh, definitely. So a part of my role is to ensure that we are bringing a program that really meets the needs of our entrepreneurs. So while we do have a body of content, right? We're not just delivering that. We're looking at what's happening in the space and what's most relevant to what's going on. So we are constantly refining what we're offering and making sure that we are meeting those needs. So when COVID happened, we didn't just say, this is what we have, so this is what we're going to present to them, but look at their needs and then tailor that and customize our program so that we can meet our entrepreneurs and that they can experience the growth that's needed.
Right.
Wonderful. I have to ask you about the program, of course, Accelerator Program, which is in partnership with the H. Labrie Stout Community College alongside Unite BVI. Break the program down for us. Of course, unfortunately, I want to note to the general public that registration and the deadline for that is closed. But tell us about the program and what the format it will take, as well as the time, length of period.
Absolutely. So the program is actually 4 months. And the first component is the investment readiness piece of it, investment readiness boot camp. So it's delivered over 3 weeks, but it's 8 days in totality. And 4 of those days will be virtual. So they'll be online, and then 4 will be in person. So we're going to have facilitators traveling from Jamaica, coming all the way to the BVI, and we're bringing some of our best facilitators. And we only deal with the best anyway. Anyway, so it's not like we, right. So we're bringing them here so that entrepreneurs can now get that one-on-one and the coaching that's needed. So when they have completed those 8 days, then they'll move on to our virtual platform. And that will be an 8 weeks stint being on the platform. And at the end, they'll have a business pitch deck. And what that's all about is structuring your business. How are you structuring your business? So to be able to take that particular document and to seek funding. So say, for example, you are going into the bank, you're able to bring that document with you. You're able to pitch and how you're coming across with that confidence, because you know exactly where you're expecting growth and your projections are of such that they are solid. So we're taking them through this rigorous program, and at the end of that 8 weeks being on a platform, we're then giving them mentorship and coaching. So again, they're getting those one-on-one financial coaching, and that will allow them to close the gaps. So any gaps at that point in time, they're able to close those and just be ready to meet the opportunities that are out there for them, especially from a funding standpoint.
Yeah.
I must commend you on the topics of choice. I do think it's of paramount importance for entrepreneurs in this day and age, of course, with the onset of many challenges, to really be equipped. One of the things that we see more so as it pertains to young professionals is their lack of knowledge and understanding in navigating through a very essential aspects of business, particularly like you mentioned with dealing with the bank. So kudos to you. We're living in very difficult times, trying times, and with the adjustment of all that we've had, what are you seeing in this program? How has the support been? Are the persons in the BVI registering? What is registration looking like so far?
Yeah, we're so excited. One, because we're back in the BVI, of course. Absolutely. You know. We had a program here before with entrepreneurs, and unfortunately during the challenges of hurricanes Irma and Maria, we weren't able to support in the same way that we were before. So we're very excited to be back now, and so there's already a knowledge and a knowing of the impact of our program here, and thanks to Unite BVI and of course the college HLSCC for bringing this program back here. They have been very instrumental in pulling the entrepreneurs in, some who have had experience with the Branson Center before, some who have had experience with Unite BVI and through the college. And so the uptake has been great. We've actually been a part of the interviews.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Right.
Right, definitely. So we have gotten to meet some of the
Yes.
entrepreneurs that are going to
Good.
participate in the program.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
it's quite a diverse group, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having gone through the interviews, and you mentioned about a very diverse group, can you speak to some of the types of businesses which persons are operating who are going to be a part of the program? What's the some of the demographics and industries?
Yeah, so we're seeing a diverse group, as we said. So, we're looking at persons who are actually in the idea stage right now.
Okay.
So we have some persons who are really thinking about tourist-operated businesses, which obviously is a great market here.
Yes.
And we're looking at persons who are in manufacturing, we're looking at persons who are in distribution. So, it's very vast, and the stages are vast
Right.
in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their business growth.
And where they are. So some
Right.
are already operating, so
Okay.
maybe 2-3 years in, but at the same time, there is that need to still validate their idea or
Yeah.
proof of concept
course.
because it's being done on a smaller scale. So now, one of the things that the program will actually address is there an opportunity for growth? And if not, could we pivot into something else? Because
Understood.
while we focus on the business model, we also focus on the entrepreneur. So the entrepreneurs that have been selected are individuals who we feel are very coachable, and they'll be very adaptable and be able to, pivot into something else if in fact there is no room for growth there.
I absolutely love what you just mentioned about creating entrepreneurs that are skilled enough to know when they should make a move or when they should stay. I think that's very important. And particularly here in the Virgin Islands, we've seen an onset of trade applications. You would be surprised, and one would think that with the pandemic, that would be a lesser amount, but it has actually been quite the opposite. The COVID pandemic has truly, I think, ignited a lot of entrepreneurial spirits in the British Virgin Islands, and I think this program is right up our alley. I want you ladies to speak to the students, the entrepreneurs that will be embarking on this remarkable Accelerator Program beginning on March 23rd. Speak to them as, of course, facilitators, but what kind of spirit should they be coming with in order to really get the best results out of this program?
Yeah, and thank you for asking that question, because that is something that's very important to us at the Branson Center. We don't do business as usual, right?
Absolutely not.
Right. And in the spirit of our founder, who really wants to have business as a force for good, that is something that's very important to us. But more so, we believe that it starts with the founders, it starts with the CEOs, it starts with having a spirit of wanting to do something that's bigger than yourself. And that means coming to this program with a commitment that this is not just for you, it's going to be for the good of your family, for your team members, for BVI. And so we want persons who are coming with that spirit, and a spirit of, as Claire mentioned, coachability.
Right.
Right? What would you add to that, Claire?
I would say coachability is the biggest thing, and just being open, right? Staying open. We know that you have put blood, sweat, and tears in your overall business or your overall idea. But here is the real test, because we are bringing in actual experts. So if in fact you have not been able to grow beyond a certain point, then this is where we are stepping in to say, hey, let's now deconstruct this business model. Let's now pull it apart and then try to put it back together to see if it makes sense. So you have to be open for that.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, once again, I want to welcome you to the BVI. I want to congratulate the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship under both of your leaderships, the very best in returning this program. I think it will be of paramount importance for entrepreneurs in the BVI who have already signed up to take full advantage. Again, congratulations on the initiative, and I wish you a very successful Accelerator Program here in the British Virgin Islands.
Thank you so
Ron.
much.
Thank you for having us.
Viewers, that's all the time we have. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.